Hey everyone, here we are in San Francisco, one of my favorite cities, and we're going to do a little tour.
Wind 256 at Qatari 737 number 2 for landing.
So,
Follow the generic on final.
without any further ado, let's get airborne.
Cleared to land runway 28 left.
Well, gotta remember to take the brakes off.
28 left number 2 SkyWest 3058.
San Francisco Tower, American 179er, 13 miles southeast, inbound ILS runway 28 left approach.
In the float plane because I plan to land in the bay, Fisherman's Wharf.
Cleared ILS runway 28 left approach.
Cleared to land runway 28 left number 2 Qatari 737. Cleared ILS runway 28 left approach, American
Very well,
179er.
nicely done this airport, isn't it? Nicely done indeed.
American 179er number 2 for landing. Follow the generic on final. Wind 256.
Okay, let's go check out the writing on the hill there. I think it says South San Francisco, the industrial city.
Cleared to land runway 28 left number 2 American 179er.
And you can actually see it and read it from the airport when you're in the departure lounge if you're facing the right way. It doesn't look like a stand-up sign, it looks like it's just drawn flat on the hillside. Cool, I love little touches like that. Should do more of them around the world. So I've been to San Francisco once, 3 years ago, exactly 3 years ago in fact, and in 1994. So what is that, 27 years ago? God. And I have to say I did prefer it in 1994. It was much less crowded. The gear up.
San Francisco Tower Cessna Golf, Bravo November.
I remember walking down Lombard Street in 94 and it was just pretty... Lombard Street is a really crooked street, crookedest street in the world. And it was just me, I think. But 3 years ago it was just heaving, man.
Cessna Golf, Bravo November Sierra, Yankee NorCal approach. Squawk 1211.
Squawk 1211 Cessna November Sierra Yankee.
I think it's kind of been a victim of its own success, the city really.
Radar contact 5 miles north of San Francisco, 1,700
Speaking to someone who lives in the Bay Area, he said, yeah, there's just so many billionaires there, it's just so expensive.
Cleared through the Bravo airspace Cessna November Sierra Yankee.
was getting tickets to some basketball game for the big national team they have here, and he said he'd spent $1,000 on it, and I thought, wow, are those like courtside seats right in the front row? And he's like, no, are you kidding? They're like the back row, like the worst view. I can't remember how much he told me the courtside seats were, but it kind of blew my mind.
Cessna November Sierra Yankee, you're leaving my airspace radar service. Terminated. Clock 1200. Frequency change. Approved.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Who wouldn't want to live here?
SkyWest 5880, you are 17 miles southeast. Climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Keep speed not above 240 knots.
Enjoy this scenery every day.
Runway 28 left approach by ADDY.
As long as you're not stuck in traffic, I know that's pretty bad.
Squawk 1200. Frequency change approved Cessna November Sierra Yankee. Normal approach Cessna Golf. Bravo November Sierra Yankee is type Cessna Skyhawk 8 miles north of San Francisco, 1,600 feet. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
So Oracle Park, this looks like a baseball stadium coming up.
November Sierra Yankee NorCal approach. Squawk Tree 643.
Squawk Tree 643 Cessna November Sierra Yankee.
Cessna November Sierra Yankee radar contact 9 miles west of Oakland, 1,500 feet. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Thankfully, I don't think they have this dreadful Salesforce tower in the skyline in San Francisco here. I can't see it. I was shocked when I saw it 3 years ago. Looks like the tallest building there now, and it doesn't really suit it. If you see the Trans-American Pyramid there, that should be the tallest skyscraper in San Francisco. That should be standing tall.
Tower on 120.5, American 179er.
So there is Coet Tower, which I did go up. Wife almost had a heart attack as I drove up to the car park at the top. It's like the steepest hill you have ever had to drive a car up, and you think, my God, is the car going to be able to make this? But no problem at all. Just going to do a scenic loop of Coet Tower. It's a shame about the trees. They look like just some weird green rock formation, don't they? Just want to see if I can find Lombard Street. Which I think is, get there straight from Coet Tower. It's one of these two streets, on my left or on my right, I'm not sure which. I think it must be on the left. Looks like it might be shrouded in trees though. Now there, that's it, on the right. And I've stalled it. Crap. Never mind, we'll come around, do another pass. Football stadium.
Cessna November Sierra Yankee, you're leaving my airspace. Radar service terminated. Squawk 1200. Frequency change approved.
Squawk 1200.
Let's do a
Frequency
3G
change
turn.
Cessna November Sierra Yankee. Normal approach Cessna Golf. Bravo November Sierra Yankee is type Cessna Skyhawk 7 miles southeast of 22 Charlie Alpha 500 feet. Request flight following.
There it is, right below us.
November Sierra, Yankee NorCal approach. Squawk 4, 526.
Yep, that's it.
Squawk 4526 Cessna November Sierra Yankee.
Just going to loop round this cathedral,
Cessna November Sierra Yankee.
which I recognise. You see it in the film Bullet, or is it Vertigo? All the time, the car chase.
Roger, Cessna November Sierra Yankee.
Cessna November Sierra Yankee contact NorCal approach on 128.325.
Okay,
Good day.
so we'll drop it here.
Going to 128.325.
Head over to Alcatraz.
Sierra Yankee. Norcal approach Cessna Golf. Bravo November Sierra Yankee 300 feet.
Cessna Golf. Bravo
Yeah,
November
those palm
Sierra
trees look a
Yankee
bit rubbish,
North
don't they?
Hotel
Jesus, what is that?
9.9 or 2 continuous planned.
So I didn't go to Alcatraz in 1994 because I wasn't organised enough to book tickets and I didn't have the money anyway. But I did go 3 years ago, and it was good. It was worth it.
American 179er, please expedite your climb 3,000 feet.
It's not the end of the world if you miss it, but if you go to San Francisco and you get a chance to, definitely do it. Just take some nose plugs because all the guano, the bird poo, it stinks. One of my all-time favourite action movies is The Rock with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery and Ed Harris. Such a good film. Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer at their best, really. Michael Bay filming it. Filmed lots of helicopters, of course. He loves his helicopters, Michael Bay. Completely stupid premise, the whole film. It made no sense at all, really. But it was a good film. Real shame what happened to Nicolas Cage's career since then.
Cessna November Sierra Yankee.
It's just all downhill from there, really.
On 133.905. Good day.
Going to 133.905 Cessna November Sierra Yankee. Norcal
We had
approach
Face Off, which
Bravo
was quite
November
funny,
Sierra Yankee
a
400
bit cheesy. And then you had,
Bravo November Sierra Yankee NorCal approach altimeter.
what did I see recently? The Wicker Man, a remake, terrible. But if you see him in some of his older, earlier stuff like Wild at Heart with Laura Dern, he's brilliant. Palace of Fine Arts, Exploratorium probably. So I'm not going to try and fly under the Golden Gate like I did last time because you just crash. It's like a solid object. I'm not even going to try and fly between the two pillars there above the cables because that's probably solid as well for all I know. So there's some nice viewpoints you can park at around here. And get a nice view of the Golden Gate. I did drive across the Golden Gate 3 years ago. It was like a must do. Costs about $13. And there's some great viewpoints on the other side, but when I went it was all completely fogged in. Couldn't see the bridge at all. I will try to get close to the top strut there. This is like Live and Let Die. No, not Live and Let Die. View to a Kill. Bond film that ends up
Going to 128
at the
decimal
Golden
3,
Gate.
5 Cessna November Sierra Yankee. Norcal approach Cessna Golf, Bravo November Sierra Yankee 1000 feet.
Cessna Golf, Bravo November Sierra Yankee NorCal approach altimeter 29.9 continuous planned. American 179er, please expedite your descent 3,000 feet.
So yeah, you can see the cars parked at the viewpoint there.
Sierra Yankee contact NorCal approach on 133.9
It's a nice coast road, very scenic.
133.9 or 5 Cessna November Sierra Yankee. Norcal approach Cessna Golf, Bravo November Sierra Yankee 1,100 feet.
Pretty sure it's a little bit greener on the north side than the south.
Bravo November Sierra Yankee NorCal approach altimeter 29.9 continuous planned.
I'll never forget when I arrived first time in '94 in San Francisco, looking out of the window of the plane, seeing it below. It was just an amazing sight. And it was so yellow, everything was yellow. I always lived in the south of England and I'd never been on holiday to Spain or anywhere that was dry or arid. All I knew was green, the ground was green. And then just looking out that window and it's like, whoa, everything's yellow. Because it was like late summer, so yeah, amazing.
Sierra Yankee contact NorCal approach on 128.325. Good day.
Definitely much yellower than this. It wasn't like this. It was really
Going to
yellow.
128.325 Cessna November Sierra Yankee. Norcal approach Cessna Golf, Bravo November Sierra Yankee 1,400 feet.
Cessna Golf, Bravo November Sierra Yankee NorCal approach altimeter 29.9.
So this is the town of Sausalito that's supposed to be cool. And I thought it was cool in '94 when I went there, but I went there again this time and just didn't really find much there. Maybe I just went at the wrong time of day.
Cessna November Sierra Yankee contact NorCal approach on 133.9 Good day.
Going to 133.9.
When I flew out of San Francisco in '94, it was at sunset, and that was just one of the most amazing scenes I've ever seen.
Cessna Golf, Bravo November Sierra Yankee NorCal
The
approach
red
altimeter
sky and clouds and sunset over the Golden Gate and everything. I was on the left side of the plane. If you're taking off from San Francisco Airport at sunset, flying to Europe, get on the left side of the plane and get a window seat. I also got to see the Northern Lights on that flight back. Probably when we were over Greenland. Flying has changed. I was in the non-smoking section, but I was in the last row of the non-smoking section with the smoking section behind me. It was just like normal economy class. There was just a little curtain and that was it. So totally passive smoking. Everything from everyone behind me. They did have TVs in the back of every seat though. This Really pretty poor resolution LCD thing.
128.325 Cessna November
It's Virgin
Sierra
Atlantic.
Yankee.
They were one of the first, I think.
Norcal approach Cessna Golf. Bravo November Sierra Yankee
I
1,000
think
feet.
the movies were
Cessna Golf.
Wolf
Bravo November
with
Sierra Yankee NorCal approach altimeter 29
Jack Nicholson and Michelle
continue
Pfeiffer,
as planned.
and various episodes of Blackadder. No, didn't mean to put the flaps. What am I doing? Alright. Damage is done. Gonna try and bring it in at the place where the boat stops for Alcatraz. We're a bit too fast at the moment. Well, there we have it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed that, and catch you on the next flight.